my God. Bro. Yo, I'm not even done. What the? What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Animosity, and today I thought it would be pretty good if we do a video on my financial burdens. Today we are going to find out just exactly how much I spent on this PC right here behind me in 2026. So if you guys don't know, I'm pretty sure you guys know, but if you guys don't know, the market for PC in 2026, really bad. And guess who decided to buy all the parts in 2026? This guy right here. I could have bought it last year for Black Friday, but I was like, nah, you know what? I'm gonna wait. I don't think it's gonna get bad. Yes, it did. It got really freaking bad.
NVIDIA is increasing the prices.
What do you mean $800? Yep. The RAM market has officially crashed.
Let's get into the reason why I bought this PC. I wanted to have a PC strong enough to be able to do everything I needed for content creation, whether it be streaming, recording, running games. This is my second PC build that I've done myself. I built another PC and that one held up pretty well, but it ended up reaching its life cycle pretty quick because I ended up buying the parts right as the next generation came out. So I kind of got left behind really easily. So that's why in this one, I decided to try to go as much out as I possibly could. And at a certain point, I stopped looking at the price because I was like, I'm not looking at the price. I just kept closing my eyes and just kept pressing yes because I did not want to know.
You what?
And today that's going to change because I'm going to see exactly how much I spent with this PC. And you guys are going to find out. Oh no, I'm actually kind of scared because now me knowing I'm really not going to be able to sleep at night. This is going to be like the second worst financial decision I've ever done. The first is outside my driveway. So I'm probably going to be judged by two people. Probably the PC enthusiasts. Second, people who are really good with their finances. So we went through the what I'm going to be using this PC for. And I'm also going to go through the why I chose every single part that I did. So my main thing with this PC was just to make something that would be really good. Something that would complement every single part. The first PC I had was white and black. And then at a certain point, I switched out the case and I put an all black build. It was pretty cool. But I was like, you know what? Let's change it up this time. So we're going to start with the case and so on and so forth, you know? So let's begin. Okay, so starting off with the case, I ended up getting an H9 Flow RGB plus. I think that's the one. I was originally going to go with the H6 Flow, but the biggest concern with my first build was I had bad airflow. I ended up getting the H510 Elite before I saw that it had bad airflow, and I felt it because when I first got it, my PC it was cooking. It was cooking real bad. So the biggest thing with this one, I wanted a PC that would have actual good airflow and also had as much space as possible because, I mean, you've seen the sizes of some of these GPU. They're really freaking huge. So I wanted to make sure I didn't run into a space problem and I had really good airflow, which is why I opted out for the H9 Flow Plus RGB. I love this case. It's a fish tank build. It looks really freaking clean, especially in the white. It already came with the pre-installed fan, so I didn't have to do anything extra with that. And I'm going to go in two sections. I'm going to go no tax and I'm going to go in tax, and I'm going to add everything up at the end of the video because I don't want to find out the damage until the very end. So okay, the case cost me $229.99 no tax. With tax it was $247.92. So the motherboard, there was quite a selection. With my first build, I ended up getting a budget motherboard. I think I had a B550 motherboard or something like that. I don't know. And this one, I kind of wanted to go for something that looked clean, that complemented the rest of the build. I looked around. I ended up opting out for the Gigabyte X870E in Elite. Yeah, Extreme Elite. I was going to go for the Master and then I was going to go for the Pro, but I don't know. There was just something about the Elite that really matched the rest of the build, especially with the RAM that I got. And I got this one because I was like, okay, you know what? My first build was, you know, okay. It was okay. But this one was all about performance and trying to get as much of it. And then I found out that this is a motherboard that can actually overclock my CPU. And I found out, I might be wrong, I don't know. I found out there's no reason to really overclock because you're not really going to get that much of a performance boost with this CPU because you pretty much already get it. And yeah, I think I kind of wasted my money, but it does look clean with that RGB right there, the ice or the silver color to match with the RAM. So I kind of don't regret it. That motherboard cost me $425.99, no tax, $455.99 with tax. The good thing about this, I ended up using my certificate because most of these I bought from Best Buy. So I started getting reward certificates. I used some of it so I can bring down the cost. If not, it would have been a lot worse. The next thing, the CPU. So I ended up opting out for the Ryzen 7. Yeah, Ryzen 7 9800X 3D. Around the time I got it, the new one came out, the 9850X 3D, and I was gonna get it, but then I saw that it has somewhat of an overheating thing, and it's almost the same amount of performance as this. I'm paying more for less performance, so I just decided, you know what, nah, the 9800X 3D is more than good enough, and I stuck with that. Because I ended up buying a membership from Best Buy, it actually lowered the price because I think it was $479 original price, and because I had the membership, I ended up getting the CPU for $444. With taxes though, it came out to $478.41. Well, not bad, not bad, you know. So going to the RAM, you know. You know, I don't even have to say, you know, the RAM prices in this economy are insane, bro. Insane. The only other thing that can compete with this are SSD prices. And just wait until we get there. Okay, so the RAM, for the RAM, I ended up going for the G-Skill RGB Royal Neos, the silver ones, because crisp, like crisp. It looks icy as hell. I went for 32 gigabytes of this RAM, rated at 6000 megahertz, and CL is 28. I was gonna get the 26, but bro, the 26 was $700. I'm not doing that. I probably shouldn't even have done the 32 at 28 because it still cost me an arm and a leg, but bro, I just had to. Another thing, my initial thought with this, I thought I was gonna get 2 slots of 32 and then get another 2 slots of 32. So eventually at some point I would have 64 gigabytes, because I tried to get 64, bro, they were $1,000 for 2 sticks. Where the hell am I gonna get the money for that? Nah. So I decided to get the 32, and my thinking was like, okay, I'll get 32 right now, and then, you know, when I have more money, I'll get another 32, and then in total I'll have 64. And then I found out when it comes to DDR5, it doesn't really perform well when you have 4 sticks instead of 2. So then that plan just got tossed out the window. And I was just like, wow. Or it would have been cool to know before I bought it. But honestly, it's okay. I'll probably just buy in the future, probably when the prices go down. Hopefully. If not, I'm okay. But yeah, it costs $519.99, no tax, $560.29 with tax. So, and I think honestly too, before the RAM prices went up, I think it used to cost like $179 or $200 max, something like that. So $300 more than what I was supposed to pay. But it looks clean though, doesn't it? Okay, now we get to the CPU cooler. So already my build is pretty much NZXT. The case is NZXT, so I decided to opt out for the Elite because I always wanted to have one of those GIF CPU coolers, and I just wanted to match the case already. I know I could have opted out for like a Lian Li and any other brand, you know, that also have the LCD screens, but I don't know. There's just something really cool about the Elite, so I opted out for that. I think it's really cool, really clean. It matches the build, complements it really well, and I don't know, pretty cool. So for the CPU cooler, $249.99. No tax, $269.36 with tax. And I gotta say, I love it so much. Okay, so now let's get into the GPU, the most expensive part of this build, but arguably not when you compare it to the other things. Okay, so when I got this, I was gonna originally opt out for the 5090 because like I said, I was kind of thinking let's go all out, but then I saw the 5090 went from like a 2,800 card to 4,000. Bro, that's a car payment. That's rent money for a house or apartment. I was like, bro, you're out of your mind if you think I'm paying that much. So I ended up opting out for the 5080, which is honestly just a pretty good card anyways. You know, I know it still gets beaten by the 4090 RTX, but I mean, I'm still in the newest generation. I wanted to get the Asus, but that was pretty expensive. That was like 1,800. So I ended up opting out for the MSI RTX 5080, and it's not bad. I kind of was disappointed because I wanted it to be just a little thicker. That's why I really wanted to get the Asus, but it's okay. That cost me $1,599.99, no tax. With tax, it was $1,739.99. Bro, this card was basically almost the same amount of price for my last build. That's insane when you compare it like that. Like, holy. So for the power supply, just like I said, I wanted to try to max out everything I could, but then I also had the attention of, okay, if I can't max out everything right now, try to future proof as much as you can, because I originally wanted to get the Ryzen 9 CPU and the RTX 5090, but those two were completely out of my budget. So I said, you know what, let me just try to get a beefy enough power supply, so if I want to upgrade in the future, I can. So I ended up getting the Lian Li 1200 watt power supply in white, and it's so freaking clean. The cables are just such good quality. I got it fully modular. I got it for $163.49 no tax. With tax, it was $177.80. So not bad, not bad. The original one, I was gonna get 1000 watt for $150, but like I said, I wanted to try to future proof this, especially because PC gaming right now, we don't know the future. Supposedly the 6000 cards were supposed to come out this year, and then there was word that then they switched up and they're like, you know what, we're not gonna take it out this year, it might come next year. We don't know with the way things are with PC. So that's why I was like, you know what, let me just future proof it. So SSDs, we gotta talk about SSDs. Besides RAM being insane, the next big thing is SSD. My intention again was to try to future proof this build. So I wanted to get the 2 gigabytes, but I was like, you know what, I feel like that wasn't enough. So I decided to opt out for the Samsung 9100 Pro. And wait, I know it's overkill, okay? I know it's overkill. I was torn between the 99 Pro, or no, 99 Evo Plus, whatever it's called, and the 91 Pro, and I know there's barely any difference, like maybe a second faster loading times for like gaming, you know, game loads, but I also got it for the speed because like I said, my other builds, it was fast until it wasn't. So I didn't want to have any issues in terms of performance, in terms of longevity, and that's why I opted out for this. And then I found out a little too late that it's better to have 2 SSDs, one for the one that connects straight to the CPU and another one on the other slots. The reason for that is because your programs are supposed to be on the first one and everything else on the second one, because if you have everything on the first one, it might slow it down, not by a lot, but it will count. I realized that after, so I don't know. Maybe that was another mistake I made, but that's why I kind of opted out for the 9100 Pro. Maybe it doesn't even have that much of an effect. I don't know. Hopefully not. I don't know. Hopefully I'm not getting flamed already too much by you guys. I forgot to mention, I did get accessories too. I ended up getting like 4 different accessory parts. So the first thing, I got streamer cables, bro. You don't know how long I've been seeing people with PC builds having streamer cables and just adding to the aesthetics of their build. So I told myself one day when I have money, I'm definitely gonna get streamer cables, and boy did I. I got one for the motherboard and I got one for the GPU. GPU I got, I think it's the 6x6, and then the motherboard is the 24. I was gonna get the 12, I think, for the GPU, but I didn't want the same thickness of both of the cables. I kind of wanted a difference in them, so when you look at it, it looks different and it's not like the same. I don't know, sometimes I regret it, but sometimes I look at the cable I have for the GPU and I'm like, no, I made the right choice. So those, the GPU one cost $54.99, the motherboard cost $74.99, so not bad, not bad. A lot of people, when I was doing my research, were saying you should get a GPU sag bracket because eventually over time the sagging will cause damage to your motherboard, specifically the PCI, the PCIe, I think that's what it's called, for the GPU. So it's better to get a GPU sag bracket to help with that and prevent the damage. So that's what I did. So I ended up getting this one. This one's pretty cool. It looks pretty clean. It's not that bad, you know, it looks pretty clean. Like, look at that. So for that, I spent $12.99, but with taxes, it was $14.13. So inexpensive. The other thing that I saw, it's not a huge difference, but it adds. It was for me to add as much as I can for this build. So I ended up getting a CPU contact bracket because over time I heard in some of the videos I saw that it could like damage like the main component that comes with it, so it can hold it down, and that this too also helps with I think it was thermal paste, so it doesn't go over and go into the actual sockets of the CPU. So I did that. I got a red one. I mean, I think it looks pretty clean. I could have gotten a black one. I did try to get an ice one. It would have looked clean, bro. Imagine the ice with the RAM, the motherboard, and the CPU bracket. But yeah, there wasn't. So I ended up just getting the red one. This one looks pretty clean. With no tax, it was $10.39. With tax, it was $11.30. So now that we've gotten this far, let's see how much I spent.
Oh my God, bro.
Yo, that's insane. Oh my, I did not think it was that bad. I don't know if you can see, but my eyes are watery because I'm like, I don't know. Here comes the regret a little bit. I don't think this video was such a good idea. Has me rethinking my whole life now, bro. What? Final price, $4,921.58. $5,000 basically for this
Yes,
PC
sir.
right here because of the inflation of the parts. That's insane, bro. Insane. Well, I guess we're about to find out if this PC truly is going to be an investment or a downfall. I have the biggest headache right now after finding out. Holy hell. So that's going to be the end of the video. Let me know what you guys think of the builds. Another thing, if you guys want me to do a whole PC setup right here, let me know in the comments. But anyways, let's get the hell out of here. Okay. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment something down below. Comment if you think that's a lot. Comment if you like the builds. Comment what you would have changed. If you hate it, do that too. Subscribe to the channel, guys, because now more than ever, seeing how much this thing costs, I need your guys' help. I need this to work. All right. But yeah, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Hold it.